Hi, today I'm going to show how to install the Google Tag Manager extension. I believe you already downloaded the files. So let's begin. So we logged in into our Opencart 3 or 4 or whatever version you are using. Go to installer, upload the extension. So extension is uploaded. Next we go to modifications. We need to make sure that the modification cache is cleared and all the changes are applied. The extension will run on OC mod, so we go to extension and now we are going to install the module itself. Go to analytics. Here we can see the tag manager appeared here. We do the install and we have extension enabled, installed, sorry. So next step, we are going to go to edit the settings and we will be required to have a license to move forward. So we go with generating a license here. Okay, and we will be needing our order ID. That's an Opencart order ID you will receive. The domain should be the main primary domain without the www for that. So here we get a license key. We just copy that key and we just go back here and we paste our key and submit. So first step is clear. Now the second part. Before going to the second part, we just go here and just copy the default container provided and apply the settings. Okay, so in this part you have to have the container installed and set up, and you just have to put your container ID in case you are using your own container, or you can use the default container provided, as there is no such changes required in the Google Tag Manager container. So we will be showing you how to import the container in another video, but for this one we were just going to use the default container as to just save the time. So we enable the extension here and there are several options to go through one by one. So the first one is extension is enabled, cache override if you are using a page cache extension, like if you are using Cloudflare or if you are using Lightning extension or Nitro. So all these kind of page cache extensions, what they do is they generate the HTML files, and in some cases the information is not actually for all the users, so like the cart values and other things. So in case you are using a page cache, so it's wise to enable the page cache override option here. Otherwise you can leave it blank if you are not using any page cache. This is also very important to enable page cache when you are using Google Ads enhanced conversion, because in or Pixel to send user data, because the user data is always unique, and so just to make sure that the things are correctly sent, we are going to enable the page cache here. Below the page cache there is an Ajax query mode. Actually this is in case you having issue with the Ajax script, so you can enable this thing. Otherwise you can leave it blank. For most of the time it works with XML HTTP, but if it is not working for some reason, or if your server settings is not aligning or something, you can go with jQuery. We highly recommend to enable this database cache, because Tag Manager runs several queries parallel to Opencart, and if you have a big store, ideally you should run a cache system provided by the extension itself. Okay, the next, this is very important, enable user data. This is a master switch to enable disable user data. What it will do is it is going to compile the user data, like the user ID, email, telephone number, address, city, country, and this data is going to be sent to Google conversion for enhanced conversion and for pixel. Both these cases, this switch must be on, so the user data should be sent. So this is very important. Okay, the next thing is the override text setup. So here we provided that if your store lack a text setup and you are just you don't have a text setup but still want to do send text calculated values in case of you're running Skroutz or any other thing that require to do the text values, you can have a text override setup here. What you have to do is, like, if you have 20%, so we just plus put 20 here, so this will calculate the tax and behave like you have a tax setup on the product and everything else, including the shipping. So we just leave it there. The checkout route additional, if you have an extension other than the Opencart or the mention here, you have to put the route here. And the last part is header custom code. So anything you want to put on the header, you can do it here. The second is advanced. Now we are not going to go into detail with this server container because most of the people are not going to use the server container. But if you are using your own server to run tag manager, which then you can use that. Otherwise you can just skip that. Exclude admin visit is going to block the tracking to fire if the user is logged into an admin. We recommend you that if you are running any kind of page cache like here, you should keep it disabled, because otherwise if the page is generated for an admin and for a user, it will also be the same. So that's going to cause a conflict. So we recommend, if you are running any kind of page cache, you should not use that. Error logs, we should always enable error logs to see if there is an error. The rest of the things are minute details, so you can just have them look. So now we are going to use the first option to install the analytics, and we are going to install GA4 both here. So let's jump to our GA4 console here. So okay, so first we will see the tracking code here for our UA, Universal Analytics. So we just copy this part here and we copy this thing, go back to our extension, and we put the analytics here. Now we go to GA4 and we will see, we're going to set it up first. So we have a data stream here, so I'm just going to correct the domain name. This part we need to copy, so we just click the copy button here. We have the measurement ID. It is recommended to generate an API as well. So we are going to show you how to generate an API. If you just scroll down, there is a measurement protocol API secret here. We just go in there. We have to review the terms, acknowledge, then we go create, and then we are going to just give it a name so we can remember. And we copy the API key and we come up here and we just paste here. So we recommend you, if you are using remarketing in any kind, just enable those two options, and we just save it here. Extension settings are saved. We go to the store now. Store is loading properly. Let's see if we are having any tags. Okay, yeah, we are. Our tag manager container is loaded. Our universal property is firing. The remarketing tag is enabled, and the GA4 is also firing. Okay, so let's show you in detail in the console. So let's suppose we do add to cart. So we have an add to cart fired. You can see, go to analytics, events, add to cart has been fired and received, confirmed. So this is how Google Analytics and Google Analytics 4 is going to be set up here. So further I will show you how to do the pixel tracking, the Facebook pixel. We just enabled that thing. So I'm just going to skip the part how to grab all these things. So I will just copy the pixel ID, which I already have here. Oh, okay, sorry, this is the wrong one. Okay, so we have the pixel ID here, and so we got the pixel ID. The second thing is conversion API. That's very handy. You can generate a conversion token if you already have. So just paste in here, test code. Okay, that's the blank thing. You can just delete it. And the catalog ID we don't have right now. There are two options that you have to go through if you are more into getting the exact revenue. Exclude shipping is going to minus the shipping from the order, and same thing goes for the tax. So it will send the price without tax on the order. So the conversion are recorded actual price of the product only, no shipping, no tax. We just save it here, and we also enable the debug API, so we can see if the conversion API is working or not.